Welcome to this presentation from Spatial. This is an introduction to the ACDC solution and its components. ACDC is an acronym for As Constructed Design Certification, also referred to as Plan Submittals or as BILTs. ACDC is a comprehensive solution for automating the workflow, creation, validation, and loading of data from electronic submittals of as constructed drawings directly into GIS and CMMS systems. Stepping back to consider the complete data lifecycle, the goal here is the automation of the direct loading of CAD drawings into GeoBIM models and digital twins. Looking at the lifecycle of design, build, manage, and plan, we're focused on the transition of data from the design documents and their use in construction, and the subsequent capture of the data in those documents for the assets and their attributes so that it can go into the GIS and asset management systems. The reason for doing this is to create an efficient digital process. What's currently happening is CAD drawings which contain double precision geometry and accurate data that is used for construction purposes are typically used as a reference, but the data is manually recaptured for GIS and geo models. And this creates backlogs and the needless recapture of existing information. What is needed is to get validated data in the initial plans, and from those plans, convert that data automatically into GIS. The improvement in data quality and cost savings is substantial. And it means that staff do not have to recapture existing data from PDF documents, paper plans, or have the assets resurveyed. If we look at the Spatial ACDC solution, it is conceptually a processing engine between the CAD and the GIS. Users can take CAD drawings, upload and validate their drawings against the ACDC validation set, either in the cloud or on-premise. If the drawing fails validation, they get an error log, and they can fix those until they've got the drawing data to match whatever the standard or validation set requires. A validated drawing, which has the requisite attributes essentially set up to match your GIS schema, can be converted or directly loaded into GIS. So CAD drawings and associated data can be validated according to a data standard or validation set. Spatial has a number of off-the-shelf toolkits for data standards like ASPEC or the National CAD Standard with a GIS data schema. And ACDC can also provide all the tools for building your own custom data validation set. If you run ACDC on-premise, you can take the validated drawing and write that information directly into your GIS and asset management systems databases. Let's look at some examples. Here's a complex drawing that has many different utilities on it. With ACDC, you can validate and load the geometric and attribute data into GIS at the push of a button, in a matter of minutes, going from CAD to GIS. Here's another example. A CAD drawing with utilities, parcels, polygons, and point features in CAD. It has been drawn in such a way that you can simply validate it and get it in GIS, with all of the required attributes shown on the panel on the right-hand side. Drawings like this present a challenge for capture, and yet they are of sufficient accuracy and completeness for construction to be successful. Let's look at how the ACDC solution achieves that. What we want to do is go from structured CAD drawings with detailed attributes to GIS data. Firstly, what the ACDC solution does is provide the tools for getting structured CAD data such that it is ready and usable by GIS systems. The good part about CAD is you can draw anything on any layer, in pretty much any way you like. However, that creates a problem when trying to streamline and capture data into GIS. Where and how you include the attribute data is the difficult part. Data can be text, it can be in blocks, it can be in leader lines. And the question is, how do you get that into GIS? And, more importantly, how do you actually validate and check that the data in CAD is complete and that it matches the features and desired attributes and values in the GIS? ACDC provides a solution for that. So, you want to go from a drawing like this to GIS data like that, at the push of a button. So here, we're just showing a simple panel of that information. What the ACDC solution does then is allow you to automatically, either in the cloud or on-premise, get that information. We provide tools as part of the solution for producing structured and self-validated CAD drawings in a streamlined way. The ACDC portal allows the whole process to be managed. It's a consistent validation process, and in the cloud is available 24/7. Meaning that electronic submittals can be validated at any time by outside groups or internal groups. And on the GIS side, you're guaranteed to have accurate, attributed, and efficient data capture procedures. Looking at the different users and different data sources. Most organizations will already have documents and standards, GIS databases, asset information systems, etc. Then there'll be staff who are responsible for managing the capture of real-world asset information, for taking the data from documents, being custodians of that and producing solutions from that data, for mapping or financial or maintenance or planning and modeling purposes. If we look at the data creation side, let's say the CAD drafter. What they're going to do is create these drawings from designs for construction purposes. These are the source of asset data, the as-constructed documents. Looking at the ACDC solution a little bit deeper in the light of the users. There are multiple sources of documents and information. The primary source and driver of what data to pull out of plans into geomodels is the GIS database itself, and so you can take that information and build a validation set from it. Let's look then at the asset owner side and the ACDC solution. We provide the ACDC desktop. This is a powerful tool for the configuration, validation, and conversion of data. This is where the asset owner can configure and set up their data requirements. It's the go-between for CAD and GIS. You can literally sit in the CAD desktop and connect to your GIS to see the features you want, while also seeing the corresponding CAD drawing components, such as layers and attributed blocks. The ACDC desktop provides a whole lot of tools for automating and storing the desired data validation parameters. That is what we call a validation set, the collection of data tables defining what the features are and what is validated. And that's used to validate the drawings. On the drafting side, the draft person will typically download a pre-configured toolkit for a specific project from the ACDC portal www.asconstructed.com. What they'll do is use the toolkits that come with an ACDC solution that were developed using the tools provided in the desktop. The CAD drafter will use a CAD desktop to draw the plans, with lines, text and attributed blocks, etc. And they'll use a plugin called Attributor. The Attributor plugin is provided by Spatial and provides support for drop-down lists on attributes. It's available for AutoCAD and BricsCAD. Attributor ensures that valid features are created with domain values for attributes that match the GIS. So, these are the broad components of the ACDC desktop, the portal, and then Attributor with the toolkit on the drawing creation side. Let's look specifically in a little more detail as to what the drafter would experience. They would log into the portal as constructed.com and then download a toolkit. Typically, the toolkit, set up by the asset owner or Spatial, would contain a CAD template and configuration files for Attributor. The Attributor configuration is set up to match the data required to be validated, providing the drafter an offline setup with feature-specific domain or drop-down lists for attributes, thus enabling efficient data capture and ensuring data quality. The drafter can then draw and create record plan drawings. These would go through their usual engineering design standards and checking. When ready, the drafting person can submit that drawing to the portal. They would simply log into the portal, select the project, and submit the drawing. Within a few minutes it will either pass or fail. We find that with drawings, it takes the drafter about 2 or 3 attempts to get a drawing to pass. This process is significantly faster and more efficient for initial in-person plan checking. If the drawing uploaded fails, they get back a drawing with error circles included to mark the error locations and error messages indicating the specific issue. They can go in and fix those errors, and there is documentation describing common errors and how to fix them. The updated drawing can be resubmitted until it passes. A pass means the drawing has been validated against all the configurations as defined by the asset owner. Drawings are checked for attribute, spatial and geometry errors. Attribute checks, like the inclusion of all required data, correct data types, data ranges, and that attributes are using the correct domain values. Spatial checks, like snapping of nodes to lines so you don't have isolated nodes, checking for node types against topological rules so you don't have hydrants or valves with no pipes connected to them, checking that pipes are segmented at nodes are applied, and even that upstream and downstream depth values match line direction. Polygon checks for closure and spatial containment relationships, like checking if a point feature is inside a polygon. And in that way, you're really confident that your drawing has the requisite data included and is spatially and topologically validated. Once the drawing has passed validation, the drafter can flag that drawing is being ready for review, which fires off a notification event as configured by the portal administrators or the asset owner. Following a successful validation, the system will also create GIS data in the cloud. It can simply be a shapefile or drawing with object data in it from the portal. If you are using ACDC on the desktop, once that drawing is valid, you can write the data directly to your GIS. This is how we can, within a matter of minutes, take a CAD drawing, validate it, and get fully validated GIS data, with attributes in the cloud or on the desktop. ACDC is a comprehensive solution for automating the workflow, the creation, the validation, and loading of data from electronic submittals of as-built or as constructed drawings, directly into your GIS and/or CMMS. ACDC provides an efficient way to structure how drawings are created, and match that against the GIS with confidence. If you want more information about ACDC, please visit asconstructed.com. To find out more about other solutions from OpenSpatial, visit openspatial.com. Thank you.